he gonna get caught. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous. How can you be out there claiming to want to fight the best people on the planet?
Veteran boxing experts are getting worried about Jake Paul fighting Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Their concern got even stronger after new videos showed Davis punching super fast and with crazy power. Some analysts say this fight isn't just about their size difference, it could actually hurt boxing's reputation if not done carefully. Commentators warn that Paul can't treat Davis like another easy social media fight. Davis is a real knockout pro, smart, focused, and skilled at breaking down careless fighters. The videos don't just show his strength, they show his sharp technique, how he traps and controls his opponents. For Jake Paul, even a little bit of overconfidence could quickly turn into a big and dangerous mistake.
Because it sounded like Jake Paul and Joshua was getting closer and closer for January. However, there have been rumours of Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul in the past. I think with Gervonta Davis's kind of legal problems in the last month or so and rumours about his retirement, I don't think it's a massive shock that he is taking this Jake Paul fight if it is going to go ahead, purely for the reason that it's a lot of money for maybe not the most difficult job that he's going to have in his career. So it's a strange one, but yeah, it's just another kind of day in the...
Eddie Hearn hasn't held back when talking about Jake Paul possibly fighting Gervonta Davis. His message is clear: this fight isn't just risky, it could be really dangerous. Hearn has openly said that Paul might be getting into something where the danger is much bigger than any reward. He admits that the fight would grab huge attention, but he still sees it as a bad matchup. The stats might make it look like Paul has a 50-50 chance, but the real truth is much tougher. For Jake, this isn't just about winning or losing. It's about getting into a fight that could hurt his health, his safety, and his whole future in boxing. Hearn's warning sounds like a serious legal notice: be careful what you wish for, because this wish could end up costing you a lot of pain.
I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that's the only reason we're going to see this fight, but I truly believe you're going to see it at the beginning.
Daniel Cormier shared his thoughts in a way that was both respectful and careful. He gave Jake Paul credit for how far he's come in boxing, saying Paul has grown from just being a showman into a real name in the sport. Even big platforms like Netflix keep supporting him. Cormier said that kind of success deserves respect. But then he pointed out the big issue: size. Gervonta Davis last fought at around 134 pounds, while Jake Paul usually weighs close to 200. For Cormier, that's not just a small detail, it's a huge difference that could decide the fight before it even starts. He said Davis is clearly the better and more skilled boxer, but the weight gap makes the fight risky for both men. If Davis somehow wins despite being smaller, Jake's rising reputation could fall apart fast. But if Davis loses to a much bigger guy, his own image could take a big hit too. In Cormier's eyes, this fight isn't a win-win situation, it's a big gamble where both could end up losing more than they gain.
The challenge is a legend? Guys, anything can happen. When a kid that was on YouTube and on Disney walked in there and said, I'm going to be a professional boxer, Jake Paul needs to be commended for that. He had a vision, and he honestly executed that vision better than anyone ever could have expected. But sometimes you want something so badly that you don't recognize the dangers that come with wanting that thing and then getting that thing. Now Jake Paul has gotten himself to a point where he's fighting someone that could truly end his career. Our Mike Tyson. We're talking about one of the scariest, most dangerous fighters to ever step foot in the squared circle. For me, it's pretty simple. Jake Paul, in the Mike Perry fight, he got a great appetizer for what he will get in the main event. A fighter that starts very fast, that throws things to take your head off, and you have to kind of match the intensity to ultimately get your shots off. Jake Paul today announced that he has signed with the PFL.
The PFL. hell.
A couple weeks ago, Jake Paul and I were messaging each other about an appearance on my show, DC and RC. Just kind of talking about his future. And honestly, Jake and I have had some run-ins. When I started talking to him and I'm messaging him, he's a kid that's very respectful. And we had respectful conversations. He has an idea what he wants to do. Now, these kids today are different, right? So he's very boisterous, he's very verbal, he speaks big. But will Jake Paul actually fight in the PFL? A lot of boxers say they're going to fight, but they never actually do. Here's the thing about Jake Paul, though. He's from Ohio. Ohio has some of the best high school wrestling. Jake Paul was a high school wrestler there. So was his brother, Logan. They weren't bad. I believe this one, he'll actually fight.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch has spoken out strongly about the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight, and his main concern is safety. Froch pointed out the huge 65-pound difference between the two. Paul fights around 200 pounds, while Davis is only about 135. Froch praised Davis for his amazing boxing skills, but he warned that talent alone can't cancel out the danger of facing someone much bigger and stronger. He said Paul punches in a way that Davis has never had to deal with before. Taking hits from a naturally larger man, Froch warned, could put Davis in serious danger. These warnings match what many people in boxing are already feeling. Some fans think the fight will be exciting and make a lot of money, but others say it's a risky mismatch that feels more like a sideshow. For critics like Froch, this isn't just about winning or losing, it's about protecting the sport's reputation and keeping a real champion safe from unnecessary harm.
Mentioned at his press conference and he shit himself, and the fight was just absolutely fucking diabolical. Again, I've said before, he's not a professional boxer, he never will be, and he proves time and time again that he's not a professional fighter. So Jake Paul, go on, piss off.
I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, who's a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode. But hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in. I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share, and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
About the boxing world and another fight that Jake Paul just booked for his joke of a career against a 65-plus smaller guy than him in Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul is a circus sideshow for low IQ incels. Nobody should be falling for this carny bullshit about him being a real fighter. Gervonta is a million times better than him, so he has to handicap Gervonta's skill by being a giant lab rat with a 65-plus weight advantage over him. This is a joke. This is a mockery to the sport of fighting. You know, the best are supposed to fight the best. Why is he fighting a guy that's, you know, in his last fight, Mike Tyson, who, you know, he's got a 40-year age gap between them? You know, why are you fighting a guy that should be in line for, you know, the early bird special, not fighting in a boxing ring, and Mike Tyson? Now you're fighting a guy who is, you know, tiny. He's a 130-pound fighter. You fight in the 210, 220 weight range. So, you know, this is another joke in Jake Paul's career. You know, he claims to want to be a real fighter, but, you know, he's not taking the real steps to be real fighters and fighting, you know, top 10 guys and fighting the best guys in the world. You know, he fights, you know, these circus sideshows against guys that have no business being in there against him. So I guess this is the state of boxing. It's dead. UFC took over, and this is what you get now. You get this YouTuber who, is on Lizzie McGuire, and he wants to claim to be a real fighter, but he doesn't want to fight real fighters. So, I think it's ironic though. Why would he hire a lawyer to sue people that say that his fights are fixed if they weren't, allegedly? So I don't know. It's kind of weird. You guys do the math. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Froch on fighting, and we'll see you very soon. Ryan Garcia didn't hold back when talking about a possible Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight. He called the whole idea crazy. For Garcia, this matchup isn't just odd, it shows how far boxing has moved away from what it used to be. He said the sport, which was once about hard work and respect, is now turning into a show just for attention. Garcia even compared modern boxing to pro wrestling. In his view, when fights like this are taken seriously, boxing starts to look fake, more like something scripted for TV. His warning was clear: if this keeps happening, fans will stop seeing boxing as a real sport and start seeing it as just another form of entertainment. For Garcia, the message is simple: fights like Paul versus Davis don't just cause confusion, they hurt boxing's image and make it harder for even top fighters to fix the damage. As Garcia put it, boxing is starting to feel like WWE, and that should worry everyone who cares about the sport's future.